Well, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Faith and Healing. And we are very excited about today's topic in this pandemic times, and with so many people seeking to have better health, stronger health, better immune responses. We are today looking at on our faith and healing presentation. We are looking at the ginger root, and many of you, I'm sure, have heard of ginger, used ginger, but I am always so excited to share in more detail some of the properties that are found in these foods that we usually probably either took for granted or never sought to learn more about. And so today, I have my ginger already pre-done, and it is in two particular categories here. I have it diced into squares, but I also have it minced. You can mince or you can grate, whatever will get it to be in its most crushed phase, and there you actually get a greater release of the properties that is in the ginger. So once again, we are looking at the ginger root. This is what the actual root will look like, and I will come a bit closer so you can take a look. And you can find that at your local grocery stores, wherever you are used to doing or taking care of your grocery shopping. So I have this one cut because it was pretty large. So I have cut it, and of course I have used portions of it for the ways that we will use it today. So this is what it will look like when you go to the grocery store, and you can pick up that at any size. In today's pandemic times, you might want to have sufficient of this at home for your use. So I'm going to place this down. Let us talk a little bit before I go ahead and share with you the recipe, some of the benefits of the ginger root. So we are learning that it is excellent, excellent, excellent to lung function. And that makes sense because the ginger has a burning effect. And so it is very significant to keeping the lungs, cleared and giving it a boost of health, all of which is tied into its immune response, which we will talk about very shortly. It also has great benefits to the spleen, all which are great functions of the body. We're also learning it is a great anti-tumor food. So it has properties there that interacts with the development of unhealthy cell growth, and it is very beneficial in the treatment of cancer patients. So with many patients now either unable to have their usual chemotherapy treatments at home, ginger is a great healthy product that you can use, a healthy food to assist you in taking care of yourself at home if you are a cancer patient. It also has great help to bacterial issues. So if you have upset stomach or diarrhea in this COVID times when you cannot go to the emergency room, you can take a dose of ginger recipe, which I will share some of the recipes, and that is very helpful to if you have any upset stomach issues, if you have any diarrhea issues, any kind of bacterial issues that have caused an upset to the stomach, ginger is very helpful to getting that back settled. It is also excellent in the treatment of motion illness. So if you're having those dizzy spells and those other things that make you off balance, ginger is very helpful to taking care of motion illness. It is also excellent. It's an excellent anti-inflammatory food as well. So Again, and we spoke about that in our last presentation, if you are dealing with the issues of arthritis, if you have a lot of pain issues in the joint areas or in other parts of the body, you can take a healthy dose of ginger recipe, and that helps in relieving pain from the body. Imagine one food having so many benefits, even digestive issues. Ginger is able to help with that. Now, for people who suffer with things like acid reflux, they have reported having issues with ginger because, of course, it has this burning effect. And with that burning effect, of course, if you already have those acid reflux issues, that may be a challenge. However, you can always draw lighter than you would stronger. Of course, you could do it in a light phase as much as your body is able to accommodate. So once again, here we have a food that is just so excellent in providing so many health benefits to the system. So once again, I do have the ginger already prepared in two forms, and I will come a little closer to show you. I have it here already diced into little squares, and I also have it minced. You can do that by just grating it, and it comes out pretty soft, and the juices are more released when you do it in that format. And so right now we are going to do two recipes with the ginger today. And I have here my two favorite little bowls that I am going to just put right where you can see it. Awesome. And I am going to put, I have here my hot water, and always look out for my steam. I just love to see that steam come out of the cup. And I love ginger tea. So I'm pouring out here. Ooh, I see that steam. I hope you see it too. And I have two different recipes that I'm going to be doing today. And I will be very happy to drink all of that when I am finished. So the first I am going to do is our squares. We're going to, now many people also just boil the ginger while it is on the stove. So you can do that as well, because you definitely get more of the properties released in that way. For the purpose of the presentation, we will just use the boiling water, which is what I did. And so we just put as many cubes as possible for a stronger effect. So here I have filled this up with the cubes. And don't forget, I always encourage you to just cover, just let steep. But before you do that, don't forget our favorite part. And before I use my spoon and my honey, let me just get the diced. Oh, this one I really love. And I'm going to show you how it just dropped into this and made this beautiful. So this is why the dicing is so good. If you take a look, you will see how the diced one is just absorbed in the water. And if you take a look, you can still see the steam coming through. So take a good look, and you will see both are very hot and boiling. Remember also adding a little raw honey, and I have this raw honey here, which is always your best option, not on all this artificial flavoring. You want it as healthy as possible. This one is unfiltered. It is raw. It's from the wildflower honey. And there I'm just going to squeeze a tablespoon. And I always remind you, try not to go overboard on the honey. I'm going to add a teaspoon here, and I'm just going to stir in. Man, I tell you, there's nothing greater than a great cup of ginger tea, especially on a cold night. And do not forget, in this pandemic and virus season, how significant ginger is to your immune system. It boosts and enhances the immune system, allowing for you to really remain on the top of your game. And remember, with this particular virus, it does better in systems where the immune system is very healthy. So you want to do everything that you can to make sure you have a very healthy immune system. And ginger is definitely one of the ways that you can do that. I am putting in my next spoon of raw honey, and this I'm going to add to the minced ginger. And again, you stir. Now, many people do not like tasting things when they drink, and that is fine. After you have stirred and let steep for, again, I always say 10 to 15 minutes, because you know by then everything is released into the water and you're getting the best medicinal effect. So once you've done that, you can use a nice little strainer, or I taught you the last time how to use a cloth, a white cloth. You just pour your things in and you can just drain it out, let the water flow, or you can just let it sit. And when it is ready, you just remove that and you'll have the liquid minus all the particles of the actual. So there we have it. And I'm going to come closer again. If you will see, both have already began releasing. We still have a little steam coming here from my water. This is the minced garlic. This is the diced garlic. These are your two options of a version of tea that you can have to boost and to build the immune system. Now, for a stronger immune response, and we talked about garlic in our last presentation, or one before the last presentation, and we also talked about lemon in our earlier presentation. For a stronger immune response, you can add garlic or lemon to any one of your ginger recipe options and let steep, and that takes it to even a higher immune level, because lemon has immune boosting effects, ginger has garlic has immune boosting effects. So imagine adding those things to your ginger. That would be a very powerful combination to keep the immune level at a high. Now, if you are suffering from the virus, you want to do that. There's 7 days in a week. You want to try to do that at least 4 out of the 7 days, at least every other day. You want to take a dose of one of those recipes. Remember to cover well. And I am the kind of person who, I'm going to now pour my ginger over into my very favorite cup. And, I add my little British twist to it, where I get my saucer out. I curl up with a nice little blanket on the couch and I just sip away. And that is very tasty. I really hope your body can tolerate this, because this is excellent. And look, since we're not going anywhere and we're on lockdown, be nice to yourself. All the things at home that you're not using, they're just sitting there. Just get them out. Be good to yourself. Get a saucer, place a nice teacup on it, fill yourself a glass or a cup of ginger tea, curl on the couch, and boost your immune system while enjoying a nice quiet afternoon. Now for our spiritual implication. Ginger, spiritually, we are learning, speaks to a sense of courage. I could understand why. It is such a strong food, and with such powerful medicinal effects. We learn it is anti-inflammatory. We learn it helps the spleen. We heard it helps the lungs. We heard that it has anti-tumor fighting capabilities, which means if you're a cancer patient and you're at home right now unable to get to your usual chemo treatment, this is a great food to add to your diet, because it helps in keeping tumors from metastasizing. So once again, always speak with your doctors if you are on any forms of medication. Ginger also is anti-swelling. Ginger has circulatory benefits, which means it helps with circulation issues. My goodness, what awesome things. And of course, it is so tremendous in uplifting and boosting the immune levels, keeping you healthy, keeping you strong. And from a spiritual perspective, it is a sign of courage and a sign of healing. How excellent. And on this program, we remind you ever so often, this is of faith and healing. God reminds us he wants us to be in good health and to prosper in our healthfulness, but never at the expense of our soul salvation. And so, whenever we eat, whatever we drink, whatever we do, we must do it all to the honor and glory of God. So, imagine eating a food that has such health benefits, but it also helps you to exhibit signs of courage and strength because it has such powerful healing effects. I hope today that you have learned something that is helpful to your being at home and remaining healthy while you are at home. And once again, ginger, my friends, the ginger root. Oh, it smells so good. You make sure you add this to your diet in this pandemic season. 7 days a week. If you do that every other day, you would have done well for your immune system. And of course, when you do that, treat yourself well. Get a saucer, get your favorite teacup, sit on the couch, curl up with a blanket, look at a great movie, but be sure you are healing in the process. Oh, you would love this today. Until next time, join us on Faith and Healing.